pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Take the roll, Teresa.
Okay, Mayor Jones.
Here.
Horn.
Here.
Behrens. Here. Mattson. Here. Jazz.
Yes.
And Bowen and Hill are absent with notice.
All right. Do we have any additions or approval of the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Mattson.
Yes.
Horn. Yes. Behrens. Jazz.
Yes.
How about the minutes from the 8-7 meeting?
I just have a quick question, and the question is just like, if there's just minor grammatical errors in here, we're not too worried about that, right?
No, but you can tell me and I'll fix them. Yeah.
Okay. So there was, I think it was Craig's report, there was like one of the sentences wasn't complete.
Oh.
I might not have finished it.
And
And maybe somebody cut him off.
okay, it's in the whole business review invoice from Hartford Township. About the cost sharing this expense prior to the work being done. I think it's just missing one word there on the sentence.
The
So
work
like,
being done. Yeah, okay.
yeah, I don't think
yes.
it's a very big deal. I think you understand what the
Yeah. And where in Craig's report?
paragraph means. Now you know I read it.
Hey, yeah, there you go, yeah. And you can always shoot me an email or call me too and I can
Sure.
fix them.
Well, if I read it before 45 minutes ago, that would be.
All right, any
I'll
other
read it.
discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Jazz.
Do we have a
Yeah,
motion?
like the other-
Oh, did we have a motion? Let's just skip that part and let's just vote.
Motion to approve the previous minutes for August 7th.
Second.
Any discussion? We'll vote. Jazz.
Yes.
Behrens.
Yes.
Horn.
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
All right. Bills for payment.
Motion to approve, approve bills submitted for payment.
Second.
Any discussion on these?
I did have one question, actually. There was something under, I'm trying to find it. There was some odd things that were under FNBO, First National Bank of Omaha. Did I look at the right thing there?
That's credit card.
So that's a
Oh,
credit card.
that's-
So there
okay,
is
that's what
different
that
items that if we gotta go online or pay with a credit card, that's how they get under them.
Got it.
Some of
Yeah,
our
just-
email.
That's what I was curious, like,
Mhm.
it seemed odd things to go under a bank.
Oh, maybe,
so-
right, yeah.
Awesome.
Anything else that you want to ask? Hearing none, we'll vote. Mattson.
Yes.
Horn.
Yes.
Behrens.
Yes.
Jazz.
Yes.
All right. Public comment by anybody who is not on the agenda. And we already started with that. Visitors, Brian, we'll start with you. Brian Schumacher, Hartford Fire Chief.
Well, good evening, Mayor, councilors. Here to request a street closure, a particular street right in front of the fire station for September 24th, from about 6 p.m. I'm gonna say till 10 p.m., hopefully done well before that to complete some hose testing. We have all our large 5-inch hose. It's just gonna make everything a lot easier to allow us to lay it out on the whole street to facilitate that. Will not need any assistance from city staff or barricades. We can handle the closure in that time frame. Just looking for permission to complete that on that evening.
You're not having a street dance or anything, or
Maybe when we're all done with testing for the year, yes.
just curious?
Some of your mock foods.
All right, I don't see any reason for that. We should probably have a vote though, just to make sure that it's on the, somebody want to make a motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion to approve request for street closure from the Hartford Fire Rescue on September 24th.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Jazz.
Yes.
Behrens.
Yes.
Horn.
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
All right.
Any other questions while I'm here? Otherwise, I have to.
I know you have to get going.
Gotta get fly flying back from Australia.
There you go.
Wow, yeah.
I know we got your report in the packet, and I looked through it, I didn't see anything that, because I knew you had to go, I looked at it and I didn't see anything that we needed to ask you about.
Okay.
All right?
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, Brian. You bet.
Have a good night.
All right. Okay, next up, we're gonna go to applications, agreements, hearings, resolutions, ordinances. First up, special event application for downtown Hartford, Witches and Warlocks.
Yes,
Miss Michelle. Oh, yeah.
that should be for October 12th, Saturday,
Yep.
3 to 10. That allows for kind of setup for everything. The actual wine walk doesn't actually go until 6 to 9, but then that allows us time to break down everything and clean the street as well.
Couple fire pits, kinda like last year,
Yeah,
or the year
same as,
before.
and we'll only light the fire pits if the weather permits,
Yeah.
so.
Make a motion to approve the event to take place as specified.
We have a motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Mattson?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Barron? Jazz?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Too bad we don't have trivia, you could head right over.
I know.
Oh, no, that's mine, that's mine. See ya.
Maryland trivia.
That's right. All right, next up, second reading of ordinance 755. This is the amendment for transits, merchants, and peddlers. We approved it, and there's been no changes, I'm correct? And Teresa included in our packet the present ordinance and all that stuff.
Motion to approve second reading of ordinance number 755.
Second.
Any discussion? I want to bring one thing up. And Teresa said she got one of these too. I got one in my pile of stuff here. I called her today because we had this over the weekend, and it's good. Novak's a longtime garbage hauler, but we were out of town, and on our Ring doorbell, we seen this guy handing out stuff. And when I called Teresa and asked her, she said if they were not selling, it's okay, right?
They were
But we
just
don't know, you
handing
weren't
it-
home, neither was I, so I don't know if that happened. If he was at anybody's place and they were home and tried to make the pitch, but,
The peddling, read the ordinance, it's the selling of intention to sell, you
yes,
know, something from door to door. So if they're just, if anybody's just going on, giving information or pamphlet handing to you and being on their way, they don't require a peddler's permit. But if they're saying, hey, do you wanna, you know, sign up for
Purchase
our
service,
services,
right.
and you sign up or, you know, do a contract, then that is selling, so then they
Correct.
would require a permit. Karen said I was going to, I don't know if any of you were home and,
yeah.
so I don't know what they're actually saying at the door, if somebody answered, if they.
Right.
There's one
but
on
they
my
did-
counter, for all I know, they walked in and said it there.
Yeah,
Ours was actually at the front door because we were driving. Yeah. Anyway,
So-
that was one, and the second one, we had also a guy that was with the clipboard, and I'm assuming getting signatures for something.
yeah.
And again, I asked about that also, and they are named, but they're not
They're
selling.
not selling anything, so.
Right. So,
This peddlers is just basically sells from door to door, yeah, so.
anyway, that's the two things that happened at our house over the weekend. They're done. All right, we have a motion and a second, no other discussion, we'll vote. Jazz?
Yes.
Barron? Horn?
Yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
All right, next one is resolution 2024-10, authorization to borrow from Rural Electric Economic Development, which is the READ fund, and approve application fee. Oh, did I miss one? I did, excuse me. Resolution 2024-9, that's the general assessment policy.
I'm thinking this would be good to have everybody here for.
Same thoughts.
So motion to table the next meeting.
Second?
No discussion on the table, so we'll vote. Mattson?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Barron? Jazz, okay? Now I was right. did it that way. Resolution 2024-10, authorization to borrow from Rural Electric Economic Development Fund and approve the application fee. We have to, $100 application fee.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2024-10.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Mattson,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes.
Barons,
Yes.
Jazz. All right.
And could we maybe get a motion for the fees? since
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not on our agenda?
Let's do a separate motion for the $100 fee.
Like to
Just
make a
a ring.
motion to pay the $100 application fee for the read loan.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Jazz,
Yes.
Barons,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
All right. Next up, resolution 2024-11. This is support of the Dakota Main Stem Regional Water System. We talked about this a little bit at the last meeting. We are a core member, or
Yep.
whatever you want to call us, one of the founding members of this organization. And now they're at a point where they're going to start charging dues ahead of when they're ever going to build a pipeline. Let's say it that,
Yeah.
let's say it that way.
But they are incurring expenses. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously they've got engineers on board, they're doing studies, and so each member is being charged to do. And with that, you know, once these studies are completed, they're gonna start looking at trying to secure federal funds, you know, plus state funds for this. And the resolutions of support, they're asking every entity that's part of this or even associated with. I know I asked Amy to look about the HADF signing one because it promotes economic development. The more resolutions and letters of support you get when you go for funding, that looks real good to the funders. So, you know, we definitely want to show our support as part of this. So that's what this resolution would do, is we support the Dakota Main Stem.
All right.
So I have no intention of this, just to put that out there, but what if we don't pay it? What if another community doesn't pay? What if that just doesn't get us involved?
Then it doesn't get some membership.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically,
Yeah, this is a buyer spot.
yeah, it is. So all the members basically, you know, once 20 years when they get to that, you know, members are gonna get allocated so many gallons, whatever that may be. You know, these studies will all determine that or whatnot, and your buy-in and whatnot. That's all to be figured out, but in essence, if we aren't a member, we would not get a direct allocation. Now, rural water might get an allocation, or, you know, they service us, but then it's up to them how much we get of their allocation versus us getting it directly, so.
Yeah, I just can imagine.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, I just can imagine in 20 years, it's not gonna be 38.50.
Oh, no,
It's just gonna go
it'll
up
definitely,
from
the
here.
due structure, we know, you know, this partial amount, now they prorate it, and we know it's gonna be next year, but I'm sure they're going to review it every year, just like everybody else does, just like CCON, SMGA, the other, so, you know, just have to look at it every year.
I mean, I would say we know that the cost of digging that pipe in from Chamberlain to this part of the state is gonna be a buck or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right?
I'll
So
make
we're gonna
that.
be into this deal for 75 grand at a minimum.
At a minimum in the
Before
next
we
20
ever
years.
Ever see
See a
one.
drip of water.
Absolutely.
Right.
I don't remember what Lewis and Clark,
Lewis and Clark took probably 20 years too.
and what did those, I wonder what those communities paid,
I couldn't tell you, sure, I know they offered us, but we,
because we were in rural water,
yeah, and since we were with them, we would have ran out of water before that Lewis and Clark would have been here, so we went back and negotiated our
right,
contract with them, so we actually, that's where we got the 1,500 gallon a minute. So
Yeah.
we never ran out of water, we were in
Right.
good shape, but there's no water left in that area anywhere, so it's not allocated, so if you don't get on this, you probably might be short of water in the future.
And rural water is part of this as well, you know, right, because, as you know, they have all their allocations spoken for as well, so until this pipeline gets up, everybody's kind of in a pinch. Yeah.
So the total fee is $38.50, but we're paying prorated?
Right,
Yeah.
we're only paying the 1283 this year. Next year,
Next
we
year
have
it'll
figured
be
in
the
the
full.
budget, the 38, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-11.
Second.
Any other discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll vote. Horn.
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
Barons.
Yes.
Jazz.
Yes.
All right, next up, 2024-12, this is for unclaimed property. We have a couple checks that never got cashed, and we need to make a resolution to not pass, or not follow anymore.
Basically,
Right,
just
write
write them off our
Write
book,
them off,
yep.
excuse me, that was what
They're
it was.
both under $50, so we don't need to send them to the state for, unclaimed property. We, just by council motion, write them off our books, so we're not carrying them over every year.
Make a motion to remove outstanding checks from the city book.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Jazz.
Yes.
Barons.
Yes.
Horn.
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
All right, we'll move to reports. The chief was here, but the first one up is the Hartford fire. And you can see their report in the packet.
I think the big thing is the Public Safety Day on August 24th.
Yeah,
If you
that's,
haven't gone or taken kids, it's really a fun
yeah,
event.
that's this Saturday, am I right? Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Cindy, for bringing that up. All right. Next up, Economic Development Director, Amy Farr.
My information is in the packet. I just have basically one update. Had that Zoom call with South Dakota DNR, and I emailed him because I hadn't heard anything, and he just said department administrators are still discussing the situation, have not received any further updates or information. So I'll be sending another email, because that was last week, just to kind of stay on top of that, see how things go. Otherwise, attended the tour of Lincoln County today. It was a very nice tour. I went to 5 different communities. The bus was almost completely full. So good conversations. Got to sit down with Butch from Crooks, Tom from Del Rapids, and then Nathan from Lennox, and had good conversation about what's going on in their communities and shared what's going on here. So it was a very nice event. So this one should be
All right.
great.
Any questions for Amy? She's got a couple action items on her report. One is to approve her to attend GOED's deep dive that's coming up the end of August. That's on the pier.
Correct.
To do these separate, or can we do them at once?
What would be
Both the
best?
same way.
Huh?
If you all vote the same way, you could do them together.
Okay, make it as one, Cindy.
I would like to make a motion to approve Amy's request to go to the GOED deep dive event and the 2024 annual EDPA conference and Early Learner South Dakota Summit.
Second. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm really good.
Wake up.
Stop.
Hello.
I was reading.
All right, any discussion on those? Hearing none, we'll vote. Mattson.
Yes.
Horn.
Yes.
Barons.
Yes.
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 All right, anything else, Amy?
No, sir. Thank
There you go.
Kind of a weird combination, isn't it? Economic development and early childhood care?
It is a little bit, but I think they're gonna take some of the things that we're learning at the West Central School,
Yeah.
opportunity that we have right now, and bring that into the fold too, with the crisis that's going on currently in all the
Yeah.
other communities,
Sure.
so.
All right, next up, she's already standing there waiting, she just can't wait, she wants to talk to us so bad. Oh. Chamber Director Windhid, how are ya?
Good to ask, I'm good. I'm good. I want to also welcome my secretary, Casey Goebel is here
Hi,
today.
Casey.
Wanted to recognize her. My report is in the packet. Wanted to emphasize that the Hartford Public Safety Day is on the Hartford app, if you go and look at that. Also wanted to thank everyone that was able to attend the golf classic. It was a really good time, beautiful, beautiful day. And then just our planning of year-end planning and strategic planning session is going to be held September 19th and 20th. for my executive board and my chamber board at the Hartford Area Fire and Rescue. So I'm looking forward to the development of that plan for next year and ongoing, so that is all I have.
I noticed that your big board meeting is the 26th.
It is?
So we meet at 6 for the budget. Did you know that?
I did.
Okay, okay,
Yep, we're gonna talk fast.
okay. But I seen that today.
We can do it. We've done it
She's
before.
only got an hour, 5 to
So-
6.
Okay.
Yes, yep.
I noticed that.
Are you gonna come early and be a part of that?
I may,
or-
that's why
Okay.
I may do that,
Yeah,
if that's okay.
you're welcome to come.
I do have one comment
Yep.
on the tournament, if that's all right.
You bet.
It was a really nice tournament. We had a lot of fun. We did almost miss it, and sometimes I live with my head under a rock, so thank you for the, quick heads up the day before, it was right before when we registered for
The
Solid
deadline,
Rock.
yeah.
And I would just offer encouragement to, and I'm not saying you gotta hold my hand either, but, maybe, I don't know how profitable that event is, but picking up the phone and dialing for some dollars, I definitely would have put more money into it, like at a brown jug. So, just for what it's worth, maybe just some phone calls to area business owners to, there's so much going on, it's hard to keep track of everything.
I hear you.
Yeah, squeaky squeal gets the grease, right?
All right, very good. We can
Thanks,
do
Wendy.
that. Thank you.
This was your first tournament, right?
It was my first.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was very nice, and I'm not complaining.
No, absolutely, was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful day. That's good.
Oh, it was. It was cool in the morning.
I know, that was the biggest part of my, did well. Nice day,
Yeah.
so in charge of that.
All right, thank you, Wynn.
Thank you.
And if you could, send me a calendar, if you think about it, send me a calendar on that,
I will.
so I get it on me. I'm pretty busy. No? I got nothing there? Okay, next up, the best favorite time of the night, city engineer report.
And we're humming along, so we'll keep her short and
You
sweet.
bet. We're rocking.
So, report is in the packet, just a few things to highlight again. Wastewater recovery facility, construction's going along very well, so a lot of internal work in the building's going on. Mickelson Road closure, again, to reiterate, that will be September 23rd through October 10th. I did have a conversation with Siteworks today where they did confirm it still will be end of September, so I'll continue to check with those guys every week, and then once we get that solidified date, we're gonna hold them to it, so. Highway 38 water main extension, bids are due next week, August 28th, crazy, it's the end of August already. Talking to a few contractors, a lot of interest on that, I think we'll see good bids, knock on wood. A lot of contractors that are hungry for work right now, so. And then Western Avenue, not much to report on there. Teresa and I did meet with some property owners along that corridor there, just on traffic control and phasing, so. For your guys' reference, if you guys do hear from others, we'll bid this fall. After that meeting, we will have a meeting with all the business owners, give them an update. When we do get into construction, our intent is to have bi-weekly construction progress meetings with the contractor, then on alternating weeks have a meeting with the business owners.
Right.
So that just keeps them up to date. We can address any concerns as construction goes. So. The other update I have for you guys is there was some correspondence with the school on some of the issues along there. So a few things that I saw that are in the works to get addressed. Some of the track on erosion control, especially with the rain, is number one and foremost. Some traffic control along First. Two, there's some of the pavement removals that aren't adequately marked. And then some of the drainage on the south side of Eastern. So they do have it under control right now, but there still needs to be some work to have that completed, so.
Did you talk to them about that curb, are they gonna?
Yeah, the curb was on the other one, so.
Yeah.
Just a curb transition for the
Right.
plan that should dive down that way.
Right.
We make sure we don't take it out with the snowplows throughout the winter.
So how does that then get past Jack, how are they gonna get that water so it's not running into Jackie's?
So right now, if you go out there, it's a perfect time to look at it when it's raining. There's, call it like a valley through that driveway, and that's the way it should be, go to the road, little ditch up and driveway, so then it's going right along the side of the road. And it is flowing through that right now, but it's pretty abrupt via in that driveway.
Okay.
So part of that, they just need to grade that out, get that smoothed out, get some gravel in there, get that shaped up and looking good.
Was she okay with that? Did
I
anybody-
haven't talked to her yet,
Okay.
I've been coordinating with the school, I can follow up with her.
It'd be interesting to see if she, I wanna make sure I hope she's okay
Yeah.
with that.
I guess, how permanent of a solution is that? Or is the next time there's a hard rain, it's just gonna start draining there?
If we have a great driving packed in, that water's gonna take the path of least resistance and go right down that edge, you know, so it was good tonight to go out there and you can see that flow path through there.
So will they cut that from that curb, eventually will that cut from that curb all the way down? From where that curb slopes down, and then will that driveway be cut too, or just Jackie's?
I guess we may have to do a site visit to.
Oh, see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Cause, you know, it cuts across Travis's right there.
Yeah.
And that curb stops, you know.
Yeah, that curb
so many
stops, like,
feet.
there'll be some rework on that curb to get that transition.
So when you get to the end of that, what happens there?
Yeah, it'll be like a valley.
All
that
the way.
goes through there.
Okay,
Yep.
that's what I'm asking.
Yep.
Okay, that's the question I was asking.
Yep.
Okay. All
That's I
right.
got, unless there's questions from council.
Can't believe how nice it is to not have Sixth Street on here.
We can get that done.
If you want an update on that.
No, I don't.
Well,
I'm just saying, I'm
just-
glad it's not
just
on
to-
the report.
I'll give you an update.
Yeah,
It's transferred over to Craig's report.
next council meeting, we will have an action item just to get that thing posted on administrative purposes. So that's the update on that. So.
You didn't see that coming, did you, Craig? That you're moving it up, you moved it. I should have been your report closer. Okay.
Is that a 2 PM bid on the
3 o'clock.
28th? 3 o'clock, okay.
We can
Thank you.
figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions for Justin?
Thank you.
All right. Good enough. Next, Craig, you're next up. I'm looking for Sixth Street.
Well, I'm gonna start out with roads, Sixth Street project. We, took that over to get those punch list items done,
Yeah.
we're just gonna hold the retainer back from that.
Yeah.
The only thing we have left on all the punch list items is Jesse's been plugging away pretty hard. We've got two panels to pour for sidewalk panels, so it's a matter of cutting them out, pinning them, and pouring them, so.
Since we've been waiting for like years, we are charging like contractor rates and not cost. I don't know.
I'm just turning in hours to administration and let them figure out what they want to charge. Hours and equipment, so it'll be, pretty much their check will be that they have holding on and beyond. I think they're expecting that, so.
Yeah. Well, Jeff said,
Yeah.
he was fine. He wanted it gone too, basically.
We talked to Jeff
Yeah.
after one HADF meeting and
Yeah.
that's not conscious, and he said, yeah, you don't have time to do it, so just, city can do it, complete it, take my retainage, so, yeah, he knows
Is
it's
that
coming.
enough?
Yeah, we don't have that much into it. Some of it was already done, actually, that they had taken care of or before and never got off punch list. They did it between us taking it over and those guys finalizing the punch list, so.
Well, it's the wrong time of year, but they could have got some grass seed down before we've had all this rain the last couple of weeks. Holy smokes. They could have probably got some grass to grow. Anyway, okay, go ahead, Craig.
Continue on, the stop signs up for the always stops up on Part T and that. That Wednesday after, or Thursday after our last meeting, when we decided to do that, I did locate. We did not get electric located, gas located, or Golden West, so I don't know what's going on with them. I had to resubmit the locate ticket. I think it was up to yesterday, there's a couple other ones located, but I don't know if they're all located yet. I know we looked at some tickets that Summit had, or that we get for locates, and there was one from like 2 weeks ago that Summit was just getting on, so I don't know if they're shorthanded or what, but they're gonna end up getting themselves in trouble if they don't get things located, so. But we have the signs ready to go, the bases are ready to be put in the ground, we just wanna make sure we can hit something when we put them in. And then, the stop ahead signs are getting made, we never have had any of those, so we are getting some made, so. They should be ready this week.
You gonna install the stop signs before the stop ahead signs?
I think as soon as I get them, I'm just gonna put them in, we'll flag them really good, cause that's all we've done in the past. I know I just wanted to de-emphasize that, let's get more signage up there just so people are aware of it. But I think the main thing is to get the always stops in and get those set. That way, we'll flag them good so people see them, and once we get the other ones in, they should be in this week, I'm hoping. So, we'll get the bases stuck in and everything ready to go, so they're ready to put up right away, so.
I've had people keeping me informed.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like I said,
Wow.
I came in,
Right, here's a bus, check out the underneath.
before I went to Sturgis, I came in and didn't locate tickets to get them done, so we could get the signs up.
Yeah. You know how many conversations we've had about those stops. Anyway, okay.
Moving on with the pickleball courts, we got our fence supplies today. Of course, as soon as we got started putting posts in, it started raining on us, so hopefully tomorrow it's not supposed to rain, so we'll try to get all the posts set and have them done. As that's moving ahead, I think we still got about a week or so before the curing time's up on that. So anytime after that, then he'll come in and get the surfacing done.
How long do I have to stay off it for the surfacing?
I didn't ask Danny to find out for sure what it is. I'm sure it's only gonna be a few days.
Should we put our park and rec team in charge of an inaugural pickleball tournament?
I just build stuff.
A dedicated.
I just built stuff. That sounds like a t-shirt.
Craig the Builder.
Well, I feel like there should be a public works team there, right? You and Jesse?
I wouldn't even know how to do it.
Fundraising pickleball tournament?
Well, I was out there and the basketball court has those lines painted on it, but they're painted vertically. So in order to serve, you have to stay on the grass.
Yeah, it's because it's kind of a short court.
You can't just do one long.
We were gonna, but they wanted to have two courts, so.
We got pickleball experts here, Craig.
I
You're gonna have to-
thought they served from inside the
I
painted
mean, this is kind of a big deal. Pickle deal.
The other ones would be ready to go. Sports complex, plumbers started yesterday. Of course, they didn't do anything today with the rain. I'm hoping that they get their stuff done, electrical done this week, so we can get the floor poured and block layers are ready to go, so that should be moving along too. And that's pretty much it for my report, unless somebody else has me.
What do you know on the pool? Anything, Neil know anything yet?
Nothing yet, he started tearing concrete out, today.
On that south deck?
Yeah, to get that, so you can see what's going on right there, so.
Okay. We were talking about that because I had Rhonda look up, that day you were here, the numbers. If we're losing that much water, I wonder where it's been going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So.
Do you suppose it's got under, if it would have ended up in our storm sewers, you'd think it would screw up our lagoons, all that chlorine, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know where it's going. We'll have to try to figure it out.
Man, that is crazy.
We're gonna pump it for a while here to see what it does, see if it lowers down to a certain area or if it just keeps going down, so.
I was gonna mention this during the bills, but I kind of, as I was looking through the bills, just the month of July, the water bill was like 3,600, hold on, I got it. Water bill was 3,600, Hawkins for chemicals, 3,400, about 500, 600 bucks to MCNR, $1,000 for electricity, and 1,700 for gas.
There goes the profitability for the year.
Oh, it was gone the day she turned the key.
Well,
No, I lose money, but we're really losing money here with the leak.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta put more water, more water takes more chemicals to treat it,
heat.
more heat, then also more electricity, yes.
So as you
It
know,
dissolves.
I do go to the
Build a new
pool.
one.
Yep,
I do
that's
go to
what
the
we
pool
need.
every day and I have a chance to talk with the people. And
just keep turning.
Once in a while, you talk to someone.
once in a while, I get a chance to talk with the people at the pool. And I told them, I said, we're gonna have to do something, because we were talking about where do we go during the winter. Midco charges like $110 for the season, and Sanford down on TLS Road is like $65. I don't know if that's a month or what that is. But we're $40 for the whole season. So I told the swimming crowd, I said, okay, I said, as mayor, I might have to say to our pool people, we need to raise this to $100 or $150 for the summer. And I did not get, shockingly, I did not get one of them say, oh, I can't, I'm on a fixed income. I was thinking it, but I didn't say it. They couldn't pay that. Because I really think we're
We're never even gonna get close to.
oh, we're not gonna get close.
I don't even think it's worth it, as long as there's a fee.
Okay. Thanks, Jake, you're watching out for me.
He and I are on the
$40
same
is
wavelength.
plenty fine. $40. Well, that's just my opinion. We can talk about it later. I'm sure we will.
Okay. Anything else, Greg?
Nope, I don't have nothing unless anybody else does.
All right. Thank you. Karen, finance report.
Yeah, my report's in the packet, and I don't have anything to add, so unless there's questions.
Anybody got any questions for Karen?
Good sales tax, man.
I wonder if you shouldn't, Karen, maybe, or Teresa, put the municipal league, just the schedule of events. If you have, do you have it?
The last time I looked, they hadn't put the agenda out yet, but I will look again.
Be nice to know, that way, I'm gonna be gone, so I will not be able to attend in October, but maybe some of these guys would like to go to
Okay.
one
Yeah,
or
I'll
two
look
weeks.
for it again, and if
Okay.
it's included in the next, or I can even email it out to everyone
Yeah.
too.
Perfect. All right?
Where is it at? Is it in Sioux Falls?
Yes,
Sioux Falls
Sioux
this
Falls
year.
this year.
So it's kind of
I
nice.
think I went one year, Craig, didn't, we went and golfed one year. Was that, or was that some other conference?
That would have been,
Yeah. That's kind of fun.
You didn't say we could golf, I might actually.
Yeah. I was burying the lead, as they say. All right, Teresa, city administrator report.
We're just gonna give you an update on the projects, but I wanna circle back and then mine, touch base on the wastewater treatment facility project.
Yeah.
I had put a note in mine that, we did have our last meeting with Rice Lake and ISG. We talked about using some contingency funds for a few items. We talked it through with Rice Lake. They have recommended about 4 different items. I listed them in the packet and just I can kind of elaborate on them. And basically, one of the changes that would come out of contingency, which is part of Rice Lake's contract, you know, so it's not a change over and above. But we had to do some alignment changes with the piping, basically on Assam's property. He asked for it in conjunction with the easements, just kind of realign the pipe, correct? The other one, was putting in, some floor plates for the sludge dumpsters, and when we bring the dumpsters in, right now they're just coming on a concrete, I'm assuming. Rice Lake had suggested putting in some steel plates to kind of save the floor, because those are gonna be moving in and out. In the long run, it'll help save our floor. I think that makes sense for $10,000 to put that in there. And then, this, structure, the 8x8 structure, it's gonna go between our operation building and the actual plant, and what it is, it's gonna be for future use, right? When we
Yeah.
add on to the plant.
Yeah.
And you can explain it
Yeah.
better than me, but.
Essentially what that box is gonna do is it's gonna provide, some capabilities when we do expand on to have less, call it disruption to the existing plant. So that was one of those items that we value engineered out, but we're at a point, you know, to reiterate a little bit with what Teresa said, I believe this would be like pay app 11, so we're 11 months through, we have nearly everything taken care of. Rice Lake doesn't expect anything to come up, so that's why we're starting to re-engage with some of these conversations for things to consider if we want to use in our contingency. We're still at 400K contingency, a little above. We are factoring in some of the utility costs like we talked about, make sure that's still budgeted in there. But that's where these items came from, so then.
Yeah, and the last one is just, per specs, our garage door opener for our building. Since it's an electric garage door opener, it needs to be explosion proof. We don't have it as it is now in the plan, so we do need to do that upgrade. So I just wanted to, like I said, these are out of contingency. They're not gonna be a change orders come for you, but I just wanna make sure we're all on the same page, and if you guys agree with these items to be used.
These would be on the next pay request, so if
Yeah.
there are questions between then and now, okay, feel free to reach out and we can address any necessary questions.
If you have
or
questions
address
So
now.
any
is this
Yeah.
a first round of add-ins, add back-ins, or is this a future looking?
No.
These are things we should add back in, or what is this?
So what we try to do is look at the project as a whole right now and try try to pick some of the highest, best use items, right? Some of the steel floor, that's weather structure, understanding some of the maintenance. Craig asked for another door in the building. We said we're a little too far along for that aspect, but intention is we don't expect, I would say, many more of these. There may be another one or two that come up if I'm being fully transparent with you guys. Just when we get into that building construction and everything comes into play, but our intention, you know, based on conversations through all these meetings with Craig and Teresa and Mayor, still hold as much contingency as possible throughout this project. And even if we do go ahead with these, we would still be sitting at, call it about 200,000 overall in contingency, accounting for the utility connection piece too, so.
Okay, that's included then.
Yes.
Yeah, because we want to make sure we have enough
'Cause we started
to
with
cover this,
3.
Sioux Valley, Mid-American, all
300?
these
We
utilities.
started at 300.
Just under 400, so about 400, so we can figure
Oh,
out
okay.
We planned 3 and we were up
100,000
to
and
4, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I say we, some
utility.
bumped up, some savings we had bumped our
Right away,
contingency up,
bumped
right
up
away,
some.
yeah,
right,
and now.
okay.
The alignment changes,
Yeah,
was that like, something physically needed to be changed?
yeah,
or-
so added a manhole and then a manhole got deeper. So when we went to bid, our GMP was set on 90% plans. So as we continue to refine and revise and get everything honed in, there was some additional height on manholes and then additional manhole that was added in there, so.
Is that 40,000 a good price on it? Like,
I mean, deep manholes aren't cheap, I'll say
Really?
that. Yeah, Ryan would probably know most about that. But that was one of those, and we have a full breakdown of all the items too. So with that too, within all of our contingency use, if we do have any contingency, we provide all the breakouts on that. If you guys want to see that sooner.
But we'll see that on the next pay request, that'll all be broke out on there, so we'll be able to see
Okay.
that. Because we can discuss, I mean, we can
Yeah,
for
this
sure
one, I
discuss
just wanted to
that. Right,
bring it to your attention now, so you guys aren't
okay,
surprised when you're not gonna see it.
thank you.
So can we, like, I know it's not very much, so it's just curiosity, it's almost 20 grand. Allocate some of that cost back, if and when we do expand. So
Oh, for the
why
structure?
do we wanna put the splitter in now and not make the regionalization plan pay for it later? That's what I wanna know.
You know, that's a very valid question, and one thing we're working through with some of the regionalization is looking at maybe two things here. Regionalization will be able to get all in the current facility. We won't have to add on for that facility. There will be some improvements at time of regionalization that we are looking at getting some of those grant dollars to pay for connection, plan, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If we are looking at future expansion, you know, outside of regionalization, the cost to do it then versus cost now, it'll be significantly less now. Now, we can always have that number as a placeholder when we are looking at negotiating, bringing someone else on and having that cost known on the connections to the plan.
it's a good question though, Cindy.
Like.
But we don't need
twice
this,
as
right,
much?
we don't need it right now.
We don't need it right now.
We don't need it right now,
That's
but we're
structure.
doing it now, so it's been 20,000 now, or maybe 40,000 in 10
40,000
years.
later and just keeping the flow of the plan.
Would it be double? I mean, you said significantly more, like how much more are we talking?
The biggest thing and little unknown for us, and I can get some numbers from Rice Lake, it's more on the construction side, what are we gonna have to do for temporary measures to bypass that? And some of that's gonna dictate, you know, how much flow do we really have going through the plan at that time.
I see.
So,
Okay.
By putting this in,
Just put it that lift
The
station
valve.
put in or something like that.
it's basically a valve or a splitter, so you don't have to shut down. You can keep running while you're.
yep.
Okay. All right. Good questions, everybody? All right,
Okay.
I think that's good on that one.
Okay, and then just kind of a couple other things I just want to go over with you. In my notes, I did have a meeting on our TAP grant, our transportation alternative, and that's our Safe Routes to School grant. You know, we discussed we're gonna apply to get hopefully some sidewalks filled in throughout the city. We had to send in our letter of intent this summer in June. We got that into them saying that this is a project we want to do. You know, we had our sidewalk plan, we submitted it. The actual application is not due till October 1st, but I had 3 members with the DOT come and talk to me last Wednesday. They're taking all the letter of intents and they're just sitting down and asking me questions, just trying to fill out what our plan is. Basically, out of that came that we, our projected cost is about 1.2 million for what we want to do. They conveyed that usually the highest grant you get out of this is 600,000. So they had positive feedback. They said that it's a good plan. They suggest though for us to get the most bang for our buck is that maybe we apply for a portion of it this year and a portion of it maybe next year on the 3rd years. Break it down so then we have a chance to getting as most dollars as we can, to get it done. They also had a few other suggestions, make sure we definitely point out, where the schools are and how the one connection is gonna connect the Turtle Creek, directly, which has no connection now. That's a good point. The state also said that they would, we would be going in the city's right of way or boulevard area for almost all the sidewalks, but up on Highway 38 it'd be the state. They're gonna send us an approval letter for that. They don't have any problems with that, so. It was all positive, but they did suggest that we sit down and kind of revise our plan and kind of maybe break it out into phases, so.
It's interesting they encouraged us to apply multiple years in a row.
Yes,
Because we kind of
they
had
did.
it on
I think they're
before,
trying to see.
didn't do that.
So, one thing I had to maybe to add, because I talked with Brian, I'm sure he was at the meeting there.
It was Travis.
Okay, yep, but I talked with another gentleman with DOT through the TAP grant, and they did note if you show a strong phasing plan, that it's likely to get that phase 2 after your phase 1 too. So-
Yeah, because they said part of it was, they told me the same thing, show the whole master plan, show what the future intent is, rather than just, submit one. They said, definitely show the whole plan.
Request, put
This is
two
what we want in
requests.
this phase, this is, and
Let's do it.
it seems to make
Yep.
sense, so.
Makes sense.
So, I don't know, but ISG and Sophie C. Cog and myself, we're gonna sit down, on Thursday and go through it and look out, see what makes more sense to apply for this year and then follow up next year with another plan. So we'll definitely, when we come up with something, we'll let you know what that is and go from there, so.
Awesome.
Everything else, just a reminder, budget's on Monday, fun, so. And, heavy quote, I am still waiting for one quote. I want to get this taken care of. I keep bugging them. I just emailed them again today, so I'm hoping even by next month we will have some quotes to compare and maybe move ahead with something. So.
Budget meeting starts at
6. It'll be 6 o'clock versus 7, so 6 o'clock on Monday. If you have any questions at all, like I put in my report, if you have any questions at all, please reach out to whether it's, question for Karen or Craig or myself. Because especially if it's something we maybe have to look up or research, it'll give us time so we're not trying to do it at budget meeting, trying to waste it. So if you know something ahead of time, reach out to
order
us.
pizza.
Yeah, we did order pizza.
Makes sense.
I don't know if we got money in the budget for that. Have you looked at the budget packet yet? So.
We'll use Cindy Sanford,
Yeah, so, besides that, if you have any
All right,
questions.
any questions for Teresa? Thank you. Did the gentlemen, did they go?
I think so. I think they did.
Okay. All right, let's go to old business and talk about this invoice for the township. I guess I would start by saying, I don't know that we're being unreasonable. Maybe we are, but I don't think we're being unreasonable here.
I think it would have been nice if they could just stayed and could have had a conversation between them, because I think both want to work together, going forward. It's just, they obviously want
I
the
think
gravel
my
paid for.
question is this wonky argument that this isn't maintenance? But it's clear it says in here,
Yeah, I mean,
gravel,
yeah, I'm gonna say,
grading.
to me, it's maintenance and it's their road in the maintenance, but they did do it without contacting us prior and
But this is a maintenance agreement, correct? correct? Like,
Right.
the repair
And-
is what,
He
the
said,
repair
they said
did-
this was repair, correct? Is that
I
their
think,
Repair and maintenance on a gravel are same.
yeah, right.
same deal?
Yeah,
So this needs to be reworded and redone to include maintenance and repair.
Yeah, if it,
And then we don't ever have to have this discussion again.
but I don't recall in the 8 years I've been here that we have ever had them send us a bill before the fact or after the fact. I don't remember this ever happening before.
No.
Well, we
I agree
annexed
with
in a
the
lot of,
township.
yeah, we annexed in a lot of land that they lost money on. And I think that's stemming from a lot of it, and then along with there's one of them that's really against the maintenance fee, street maintenance fee.
Yeah,
well, and I think that's what I mean, I understand the aspect, they think we're holding this above their head. But I mean, if we didn't, we probably would have gotten the same result there, right? I mean, I think they're just upset, and they're gonna be upset. You know, I don't know.
I feel like we just need, let's just pay it and send them a letter that says, going forward, any unapproved, any projects that are not pre-approved will not be paid.
yep, I think,
Period.
I'm good with that.
and how do we?
And then if we can fix this to include repair,
yeah.
and they probably won't sign it then, maybe.
And how do we deal with, what can we do from a standpoint to ensuring that we can do what we wanna do on Second?
But you're just gonna have to go back
I
and
think
ask
you're
them.
just gonna have to have that conversation with them. I don't know, at this point, you can ensure that.
I think, you know, you're costing the taxpayers of the city of Hartford X amount of dollars because of, you know, you're saying this is simply we're being stubborn and holding something over. You're doing the same thing.
Right.
That's our point. You're not bad people. We're not trying to be difficult, but this is a lot more expensive grudge that you're holding with
Right.
this boring cutting than your $1,500.
One of them's playing the same game with the street maintenance fees. He's like, well, if you drop the street maintenance fees, we'll let you cut that road. I mean, they're playing the same game, it's just,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
So this is dated July of 24. Do they do a new agreement every year, or?
This is the first agreement
This
that's ever
first
happened.
agreement.
This is the first time we've
It's
ever done
always,
Just to
this.
it's always just
clarify.
been a gentleman's agreement, meet out on the gravel road and talk about it and take care of it. But that changed just last year, so. I think that's because they're upset about, we annexed in a full mile going out that way. Just
Right.
one full mile, plus another 3/4 mile going, south out there on 465.
Right,
You know, we took in some land over here, so I think they're losing this tax money, they're seeing it, and they're upset about that, and then this maintenance, street maintenance that they're paying for, got one of them really upset, so.
so,
They should have a lot less expenses with less roads though too, right?
Yeah, that's why the maintenance
Yes,
agreement
I
came in,
agree.
because they wanted to start taking over some roads, so.
Which we did, we worked out, we got about
Yeah.
the same area roads, and that's not an issue, I don't believe, but I
but
think
the
the,
fact, oh, excuse me, go ahead.
I think just the whole issue is that, you know, they did this work prior to us having an agreement in place and prior to coming to us, so, like I said, is it very much money? No, is it worth all this? You know, it may be better off just paying it and just, with the letter saying, you know, any future, you know, requests, please come to city first. I mean, that's what the county does, and everybody agrees upon it prior, and then there's
When are
no
we
issues.
looking, when are we looking at timeframe we'd have to cut that, will it be next spring?
Maybe probably this fall, yeah, maybe. Possible.
Potentially this fall, yeah.
The
So
thing with.
that'd be October timeframe though, by the time they get up there.
I'd say about that. The thing about this is, I think you'll see a codified law coming out in the near future, because between the counties, townships, cities, everybody's moving on each
Oh, it's
other's
blurring,
territory,
yeah.
and there's no,
Right.
nothing in the codified law about who owns what roads.
Right.
Yeah, that's
And it,
Yep.
so there's stuff in the makings with it. We just try to do an agreement with them, just, smooth things over and try to work with them instead of
and just to
instead of waiting
clarify, yeah.
for, and sitting in courts and fighting stuff, trying to decide who owns it, because nobody knows. You know, there's nothing in the state laws.
Do they have their meeting the same time we have our meeting?
Yep.
Okay, I was thinking so.
First Tuesday, unless they post it on the door, then that's what it is. They really,
They just
I
meet once a
think,
month.
I think we should quit fighting about $1,500 with them. I think we should pay them, tell them we will not ever pay again without pre-approval. And then maybe Art and I don't know if you were gonna follow up with this gentleman that was here, I don't know him. But, in regards to like bargaining, and I mean, that's exactly how we got to that place with the road, is the spat over the.
And, yeah, my thing is with Second Street there, since we're maintaining it, I mean, don't we kind of have possession of the road? So did we even really need to go
Well, I
to them and
suppose
ask
we
to cut?
Cameras on, I better not say.
So it's kind of, it's a gray area. It's,
East of that
Well,
intersection?
maybe that's what we just need to say. We've reviewed this agreement, and based on it, we don't believe we need your permission, we're going to
I mean,
cut this road.
cause it'll be no cost to them now, cause the cut's gonna be on us, the repairing it, the
Yep.
keeping the gravel up, it's
Yep.
grading it, I mean, that's all gonna be on us now.
Good
for our
point.
agreement.
All right,
Make a motion to approve payment of the invoice as submitted.
Second.
any more discussion, Ryan, what do you want to say?
Yeah, do we want to, put in that wording that we wanna send a letter saying,
Yeah,
I mean, I'll definitely send a letter, but you can
Yeah.
put in a motion
if
too.
you want to add that to your motion, who made the motion, Jay?
Yep, all right, making a motion to approve payment of the invoice for the Hartford Township. And let's send them a letter that says, all bills must be submitted prior to work completion, or you can't pay them.
Work started.
Yep. You know, Teresa will word that, she'll. You still want
Must
to
be
second
submitted
it?
Well, you can use my coffee
I'll
cup
second.
words if you want to, I mean, they're gold.
it happens?
All right, any more discussion on that? If not, we'll vote. Mattson?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Barons?
Yes.
Jazz?
Yes.
Yay, it's over.
All right. No, I don't think it's that way. I think this is just the beginning.
Leave the
Anyway,
big kids in the room for now.
all right.
Yeah.
Did, well, I better wait. I had other thoughts. Sorry. Trying to be more politically correct and it's hard. All right, hold on here, I gotta get rolling up to. Okay, next up on the agenda, we're down to new business, review, approve the gas contract for the wastewater treatment plant.
Water resource recovery.
Or you call it that.
Wastewater
You
treatment.
guys
Why'd
sat
they
down
come up with it?
I think it's,
Right.
don't we call it the WWTF and then the WRRF as well?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
it's
that's
the,
two
it's got
different-
two names.
Two acronyms.
I like the WTF, I mean, WW.
Wow, here we go, yeah. This is another one of those items that is not in the Rice Lake contract, it is outside of that, and we discussed earlier, this is money that will come back through the
We can use our
contingency
contingency.
as we get there. And this one for Mid-America is $29,542.
I
We
make a
need to
motion,
get this paid, so they'll do it.
I make a motion to approve service request from Mid-American Energy.
Second.
Any other discussion?
So how many more of these type
So
of
we'll have
utilities?
one from Golden West, they're just starting the plans on that, and, Rural Water and.
For water.
I
Okay.
think those, those will be.
And we already
done
did
too. We already did.
Electric, we did. We had to do two for
We
the
did
electric,
Seville
one
already,
for
we did
the.
this one, so that'll be Golden West.
Yeah, one for the pump station, one for the plant, right? We had to do two for Sioux Valley.
Okay.
All right,
And we did that one, so.
any other discussion?
Only one.
None here.
Hearing none, we'll vote. Jazz?
Yes.
Barons?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
All right, last item under new business is an item that I asked Teresa to put on. This is approve some reserve funds for the regionalization expenses. Justin kind of hit on it, but we're at a point where there's amount of money that needs to be spent here on the front end to get this thing moving along. That's the only way I can say it. We need to look at having a joint ventures, whatever they call it, joint JVA, joint something. joint agreement
Joint agreement,
drawn up.
basically, yeah.
And Meyer Henry, who does a lot of work in that, is agreed to do it. I think he's doing it for a pretty fair price. But between Crooks and Colton and Hartford, the three of us for now are gonna each, and then what I'm asking is that we could get 5,000 out of our reserves toward that project.
Who's managing the money?
It'll probably be managed by CCOG, I would say. I would say Sophie at CCOG will be managing this.
They've been doing all our administrative work for
Yeah.
us, so I would assume 2 weeks.
At our next meeting, CCOG's probably gonna present us with their proposal for administering this deal.
I'd like to make sure there's a good organized accounting.
Of that money?
Everything we spend towards regionalization,
Yep.
including
So
our splitting structure.
we should keep track of that, yeah.
I agree, and maybe the right thing to do is table it until they're here next meeting. I don't know, what are your thoughts, I guess?
Who's here?
We have a meeting next week.
CCOG, you said, I thought was coming here next.
No.
Oh, I was
No,
mistaken.
they're putting together for the group, for the regionalization group.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right, I misunderstood that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So,
No, I didn't explain it right.
no, you're good, so, okay.
So,
I'd make a motion to approve the $5,000 reserve funds for regionalization expenses.
Second.
all right, any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Jazz?
So you're gonna make sure that somebody's doing a really good job accounting for this money?
Yes.
All right, yes.
Barrett?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
I got it on video.
Mattson?
Yes. I'm
Don't worry.
hoping Karen has a
I'm not-
Well,
everything we could possibly relate to regionalization, because
Yeah.
I expect we'll get our money back.
thank you guys for this, but I will say, part of this ask from me is out of frustration, because we're spinning our wheels so bad, and everybody's looking at each other, what are we gonna do next? So after the last meeting, when we walked out, I said to Teresa, I said, we gotta figure out a way to get this thing off center. And just so happened, the next day I was with Butch, and I said, Butch, you need to go ask your council for some money, I'll ask mine, and we need to get ahold of Trevor, we gotta get this thing going. So that's what drove this. It was really frustration on my part, because we're just sitting there spinning our wheels, and we
Yeah.
gotta get this thing moving.
And then at this point, CCOG's been doing pro bono work, engineers
Yeah.
have been doing pro bono work.
Yeah.
Meyer Henry is, and I
Um,
think they're all gonna start wanting to get paid.
I'm gonna tell you the sad fact at the last meeting. There's a reason they give you 10 years to spend this money. Because it's gonna take us probably 5 before we start digging ground.
Just the
It's-
plan we've gotta submit is
Oh, it's
pages and
crazy.
pages.
Anyway,
It's
so,
government.
all right, do we got anything for Zach?
I was just gonna mention, we paid like $5,000 for CCOG to write a grant for us. So wasn't that the fee in the bills for CCOG for the EDA?
Yeah, so CCOG does.
I don't think they're too free.
Yeah,
It's a
like I
lot
said,
for a grant, right?
you know, we pay dues to them and they do certain services for us, like codify our ordinances and help write different things, pro bono. But if there's a specific project where they've got to write an administrator grant, then they do charge a fee. So, yeah, you're right, they're not. Which just like this,
Correct
they'll
me if
charge a
I'm
fee.
wrong, Mayor, but some of the fee will go to Todd Meyer Henry as
Yeah.
well for
Yes.
some of
Yeah.
the
Yes.
legal work that needs to be done.
This first chunk, this 5,000 will get him started to get, because really, I would venture at one of the next meetings, when that, after we get to the point where that agreement is starting to take shape, we will probably all come to you guys and ask you, because there's really gonna be a discussion about how does Hartford fall? Are we gonna be in the group, not in the group?
We're gonna own the wastewater treatment.
Right.
Cindy, I've told them 1,000,000 times, if they haven't heard it by now, yeah. they
Well,
heard
maybe
it,
we should
but
think
that's-
like Blue Stem does, like, these are your dues if you're in this year.
Yeah.
If you're not in the
Oh, like
first,
Dakota Main Street?
if you're not in the founding group,
Oh,
your
sure.
fee structure will be higher.
Yeah, oh, exactly, that's a good idea, use that structure,
It's not a bad idea.
yeah. placeholders. Something to think about. All right, anything else? How about a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And a second? Second? All in favor?
Aye.